Hi guys, welcome to my new video. Today I'll be testing out the JEFFREE STAR X MORPHE brushes and the sponges. So if you want to see how they perform and how I feel about them, then obviously keep watching. But yeah, I'm loving them. I ended up buying 2 sets of the brushes because I couldn't help myself and I wanted to get double of them. So that's all the brushes that I'll be using to make today's look. So if you want to see my thoughts and stuff, keep watching. But yeah, enjoy the video. So these are all the brushes. I also have his sponges, so I'll be using that to apply my foundation. It's really firm. Let's apply. It is very firm. So I have used a few of the other Morphe sponges and I don't recall them being as firm as this one. Alright, so I did have to go in with the foundation brush, the JS1, because the denseness of this sponge was making it quite difficult for me to actually blend it out. This foundation brush did a pretty good job. And it's not as dense as I'm used to my foundation brushes being. It's quite loose and whatever. For concealer, I'm going to go in with the mini one. So that's the bigger one. And this is the mini one. I have wet it and this one is a lot softer. So hopefully it'll blend out my concealer with ease. And my face is concealed. It is a bit, this is the first tiny sponge I've ever actually used on my face. It's a little bit awkward to get into, but it blends quite beautifully and I'm not mad at it. Not at all. Now I am going to bake using this sponge because I really want to know how that goes along, baking along there and even under the under eye. But just to set everything, I'm going to go in with the JS2 and just lightly brush underneath my eyes. I found the sponge a bit difficult to actually set underneath my eye, so I just went in with the brush. Doing the contour bake, it was quite nice because it is a straight line, but it takes a lot to get all the product on the actual sponge. While my face is setting, I'm going to just go into my eyebrows. Now I don't have a pomade or anything like that, so I will be waiting to use this as an actual liner, but I'm just going to go in to my ColourPop eyebrow pencil and just do my brows. I might actually go into eyeshadow before I wipe away all of the powder. Now for eyeshadow, I'm going to go into the Thirsty palette and I'm just going to do a very nude look. So I'm going to be going into these 2 colours and probably this one down here. So I just used the JS6 to apply my base colour and I just chucked that all over the lid. And I'm going to go into the JS5 and I'm just going to go into a nice deep crease. Alright, now I'm going to go into a deep brown and just deepen up that inner corner. I might actually go back into the JS6 just to get a more defined corner. Alright. That looks pretty. So now I'm just going to go into a kind of like a bronze. Oh, see, that was a clean brush and that picked up a lot of product. I'm going to spray this Now these are pressed, so I'm not surprised that it didn't 100% lay it down perfectly, as I do have to spray the brush a fair bit, and that is Penny, if you can hear Penny. Alright, so that is the top of the eye done. I'm just going to wipe away and brush in all the back. Let's get into contour. So I'm going to be using the JS3 to contour. Now, I have seen reviews on these brushes prior to me receiving them, and a lot of people weren't so sure about using this as a contour. Now, when I first started contouring, I actually used a double-ended brush. One side had a big fluffy brush for blush, and the other side had something similar to this for contour. So I'm actually used to using this as a contour. Alright. Now, one of the best things about using a brush like this to contour is that it's a very small tip and it's a very precise contour. And I'm going to be using my powder brush, so my JS2, as my blush brush. There we go. I wouldn't necessarily go back into using it as a blush brush because I feel like it's more of a powder brush, but I thought I'd use it because there's not really another brush to use. I'm going to go in with the spoolie and the little doodad. What is it? Flat liner brush, angled liner brush. And I'm just going to go back into the Thirsty palette, and I'm just going to go into stroke. And I'm just going to line my under eye and kind of smudge it out a little bit. Alright. Now I'm going to go into... I'm actually just line my eyes really quickly. I've just gone and I've just quickly finished the eye look. Chucked a liner on. I'm loving this mascara. It's the Flower Beauty Zoom In Ultimate Mascara. I'm loving it lately. Now the only thing left to do with the brushes is put on some highlighter. A base highlighter. So, then I'm going to go into the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost Wet Dream. Just a little bit. Alright, so I'm just going to put some lips on and then I'll be back to do my final review. Alright, I'm back. For lips, I went into Jeffree Star's Lip Liner in Calabasas, and I just put on MAC Powder Kiss lipstick in Scattered Petals. Now, final review of all of the Jeffree Star and Morphe brushes. Start with the sponges. So this sponge, maybe I didn't wet it enough or let it soak enough, I'm not 100% sure, but it's just very dense and it was quite difficult for me to actually blend out my foundation. While as the mini was it's really soft and really easy to grip and just blend out concealer. I really love it for that. Now the JS1, the foundation brush, is soft, it's not very dense, but it still applies the product so beautifully. No complaints about it. The JS2, the powder brush, it applied the powder very nicely, it's very soft. It did its job pretty much. Like, there's nothing I can say. Baking, like I said earlier, it was quite difficult to get all the product on the actual face of it, but it was really nice to kind of carve a really good cheekbone. With contour, This brush did an amazing job. It was very precise and it got in the places, it blended out nicely, all of that, no complaints. Nothing to complain. Now, the eye brushes, they worked really well. So the JS6, I did with a lot of it and I could make a full face, well, a full eye look using just this brush, which is amazing to think that. The JS5 was a really good blending. I wouldn't really use it for precise in the crease because it is a very thick brush and I have a very small eye compared to the brush. So I would probably only use it just to blend in colours into the crease, but like it did that really well. Now the spoolie and liner, I didn't use the liner, I didn't use it for eyebrows. This spoolie I presume just works as a normal spoolie, but using this under the eye was very precise. I really love how thin it is. It's very thin and very sharp, so if I was ever to get an actual pomade, I could use it to stroke, like put hair strokes in there. I can see how that would be a really good brush for that. JS4, the highlighting brush, it picked up product really well and it put it down quite nicely. This is similar to a lot of the highlighting brushes that I use currently, so I will probably reach for this a fair bit because it does pick up product and lay it down really nicely. That is it for this video of me trying out all of the JEFFREE Star and Morphe brushes and sponges. So I hope you like this video, even if it was just me playing around with some new brushes. But I hope you like this video, you know, subscribe and all that jazz. But I'll see you guys in the next video.